Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another counter side video. Alright, today we're gonna check out both Awaken Hilde and Rosaria. Alright, so hopefully give you guys an idea on whether or not you want to be pulling them. Alright, so I know most of you guys have already set if you want to pull for them and if you don't want to, but there are still some of you guys who are undecided, right? So hopefully we're going to do this analysis and give you guys a better idea what counters them, how to deal with them, etc. if you ever encountered them in the arena. So let's jump into it. Now one thing to note is they did add this guy, Frederick Doma, into the encyclopedia or something, but I'm not sure how to obtain him yet. Maybe he's available in the standard banner. This guy looks cool, but we're going to cover him in a separate video, I guess. So let's talk about Rosaria and Awaken Hilde. Alright, we're just gonna jump all the way in to the skills. Alright, so if you guys are not aware yet, Rosaria, okay, so she is a flying unit. So similar to Evelyn in a way. So she's going to be different in that case. Now here's the thing, what makes her really cool is she's flying, she's floating in the air, so she's counted as an air unit. So a lot of ground units cannot hit her except for most rangers. Most rangers do have the all-around attack, right? So her basic attacks basically targets mostly air units and ground units, so she's quite unique in that sense. Alright, as you can see, she does target the units that are closer to her first, like in this case it's the ground units, so most air units have a little bit of range anyways. Passive skill, when you deploy her, she permanently increases attack by 1.5% with each kill up to 15%. So if you kill the enemy 10 enemies, she will be able to get 15% attack boost. Now what's really cool about her and what makes her insanely strong is deploying her anytime you want, because once you have her passive skill up to level 5, you can put her anywhere, anytime you want, and she will have immunity to all damage for 4 seconds. Now if you have played PvP before, you know how annoying it is to, like, whenever we place a unit and the enemy just happen to cast the ultimate skill on you and just get obliterated and destroyed. Now that will not happen to Rosaria. So in a way, she can be good in PvP because of that. So that negation in terms of the immunity is just something that's invaluable right now. Now we're moving on forward, the special skill. Now what you saw earlier, every time she spammed this skill, this one will basically cause hit stun and AoE damage. And it's a pretty good cooldown as well, every 20 seconds. Now the ultimate skill is what makes her really cool as well, in my opinion. It inflicts AoE damage on the enemies and levitates them. So let me see if I can show this effect to you. So let me get a bunch of ground units. So we're going to use the ultimate skill right here. So it does like levitate them for a short while, alright, increase them to the air. In some sense, it's similar to some ship skills. So yeah, overall, she's a pretty decent unit. We don't have any counter that's a flying unit right now that can fly around and deal a lot of damage. Besides Evelyn in a way, but Evelyn is more of a supporter healer. So in that sense of role, she's quite different in that sense, right? So for the time being, she's going to be dominant in the meta for sure. I'm not sure until when, but if you are pulling her specifically for PvP, I would say, yeah, I would say it's worth it, for sure. I think I'm going to skip her for the time being because I don't think I need an air unit. Now, she's going to be really strong for PvE. In terms of raids and stuff, she's going to deal a lot of damage moving forward. I would say if you are getting her for PvE purposes, she's going to be really strong, and I don't think she will fall off in terms of PvE. Now, let's talk about Awaken Hilde. Now, I think in my opinion, she's going to be the star between these two units, and most players are going to try to get her because she's the first Awaken unit in the game. Now, she is pretty expensive cost-wise at 6. Alright, that's really expensive to deploy. Now, she is really tanky. Look at her stats at 69,000 HP, 2.9k defense. Evasion is not that high, but that is an insane amount of defense and HP combined. So let's have a look at her skills, and then hopefully I can give you guys some recommendations for build etc. Now, swings her sword along with Fafnir and Regine, inflicting AoE damage. So her basic attack already deals AoE damage, which is pretty crazy. Now her knockback skill on deployment is also pretty insane. Alright, so when deployed, she instantly knocks 8 meter range. So as you can see, I'm going to deploy her. The animation is pretty cool. Like, look at that explosion, right? And then she charges forward afterwards, inflict more AoE damage, right? And if you have a passive skill max, alright, she will have non-cancelable barrier by 8% of max HP around all allies for 8 seconds upon deployment. Special skill cooldown minus 5 seconds instead. Pretty crazy. Alright, so let me show you guys again. I don't think she's someone that you want to deploy early on. So you want to deploy her later on, because when you deploy her, she has this knockback. Boom, all the enemies are pushed away quite far. So in terms of positioning, I think using Hilde is where you want to take note of that. Like, it's very important. How you position your Hilde can determine whether or not you win a PvP battle or lose. Now let's talk about the special skill from Hilde right here. Alright, she leaps backwards into the air, crashes onto the ground, AoE damage again. So this will create a non-cancelable barrier by 25% of max HP, becomes immune to hit stun from special or lower skills for this barrier's duration. Alright, so this is a special skill right there, look at that, pretty cool. So she has this roll disadvantage resistance plus 100% for barrier duration. So being a defender, that means she will be susceptible to ranger. Rangers are supposed to deal more damage, so she will have that roll disadvantage plus 100% during this barrier duration, which is crazy. Alright, it's a lot of barrier, 25% of her max HP as well. And then for her ultimate skill, Buster Overdrive, man, charges forward, inflict AoE damage, and decrease damage taken by 20% for 12 seconds. I really love her ultimate skill. She just like charge forward like that, boom. It's just crazy. That's a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Yeah, she's just insane in PvP for sure for the time being until the other Awakened units comes in. Now, a lot of players have told me perhaps John Mason can cancel out her skills because John Mason has an ability to cancel out barrier. But based on the description here, it says that these barriers are non-cancelable. So I don't think it's similar to Esterosa where the barriers can be cancelled. So I've yet to encounter Awakened Hilde in the PvP. So hopefully we can test out this logic later, because I'm a John Mason abuser and John Mason's special skill cancels barriers, but apparently this is a non-cancelable barrier, so I don't think it's gonna work. So we're gonna see how it is later. Now, in terms of priority, if you can only pull for Rosaria or Awakened Hilde, which one should you go for? Alright, in my opinion, it's gonna come down to these two things, alright? First of all, Awakened Hilde is a defender, alright? And I know she's strong, I'm not saying that she's weak, but if you recently pulled for Liumi, alright, like you just got her like last week, like this character right here, in fact she's still here right now. If you can pull for her, that might be able to sustain you for having a strong defender for a long time. Like having another defender, you know, Awakened Hilde, sure she can do more and she's an Awakened unit, I understand that, but I don't think you need multiple defenders in PvP, alright? You don't need so many, you know, characters in that role. And also, we're gonna have better Awakened defenders in the long run later on. Of course, I'm talking about Na Yubin, but whether or not he'll be here, of course, you know, it might take a couple of months for sure for him to be here. But knowing how we have an accelerated update in the C server, he might come sooner than you think. Yeah, I'm not sure. In most cases, having a 6-cost unit in PvP is gonna be really costly. But knowing that she has this barrier and she has a lot of broken skills, I think she's gonna be worth it. Again, that depends. I do think that if you have Liumi, you won't really need another 6-cost defender, alright? Just stat your Liumi as a leader, and I think that's gonna help you in most situations. Now, regarding Rosaria, is she worth pulling for? I would say yes, but then again, it depends on your resources. My advice is try not to pull for too many units because it's gonna come down to the amount of resources that you have, alright? So only pull on her banner if you think that you can get her all the way up to PT. Like for me right now, I only have 50 of these blue tickets, right? So getting her to PT this week is going to be really costly. So I can choose either one only. So I can either pull for either Awakened Hilde or I can only choose Rosaria. So going for both is going to be really taxing, especially if you are free to play. So spend wisely, think carefully, who do you actually need in your team. Now she's still going to be a ranger that's cost 4, alright? Yes, she's a floating unit, she's a flying chair, whatever. But if you already have Gaian, you already have like Carl Wong, you already have like multiple other rangers, do you really need her, right? Having another ranger in your PvP team might not be that helpful right now. Of course, she does have a pretty good passive, not gonna lie. I might just pull her just because of the passive, but I'm still thinking it through for the time being. So yeah, overall, let me know what you guys think in terms of Rosaria, Lifraid, and the Awakened Hilde. If you can choose one only, which one would you go for? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.